I'm trying to think. We saw that a lot in the last series. Did we see nothing but double mirror gambit bans in Series 1?
I believe, I'm not entirely sure.
saw.
I feel like it's been an eternity away. That triple AD versus EXO has been still on my mind with how crazy it was. And it's only the second best of 3. Now we're in the third. Yeah, so it might be the highlight of the tournament at this point.
Oh, okay.
It
Big
was
words,
that
but you know what?
big of a
I agree.
banger.
So,
But
I mean,
now we gotta go
how
to the
do you
draft.
live up to that if you're Pirates and Rivals?
Not entirely sure in terms of how they want to set up that banger, but
Oh,
okay.
Dan.
All right. Well, all right.
Is that a Gambit Reserve?
It's gonna be a one-sided gambit for Rival. Okay, it's for Rival. It's big question marks right now for Rival. We've been talking about this entire week. It felt like. How is Rival going to compete against the MRC teams as well as the other invited teams as well as the partner team in the likes of Reject? We do not know. And right here is their first big test. The best team from the pool of invited teams via the MRC now going to be the first opponent for Rival.
Have the Elsa locked in for the reserve on Pirates' side. We've seen this happen in the past. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a guaranteed win for the team that can rock the Elsa. It's been banned out for Rivals. Though Rivals do have the Gambit themselves to work with. It looks like a Mantis Vanpool ban for reverse sides. Okay. Not too bad so far. It seems as though Pirates want to focus more on the strategic output for Rivals and limit their options.
Yeah, we'll see. Vanpool not going to be available for the side of Pirates. But now Pirates have an option to go for a save. Could be the Jeff if they really want to use that to their own favor. But they're going to go for the Daredevil instead. So more scouting options, more ways to speed up the dive process here.
I like this too because depending on Rival's playstyle, either the Elsa will work or the Daredevil will work. There's really not much of an in-between where both options can't be viable.
Yep, and now this is a interesting approach, taking away Captain America. So limiting the dive Vanguard options, finally sealing the one-sided Van pool. So now with Jeff being in the pool still, do Pirates deem that Jeff is too big of a threat and they're going to use their final ban on it? Nope. Even better of a ban, I'm not going to lie. It's either the Star-Lord or the Jeff. Both of them are really, really big threats. But we've seen the strength of the Gambit Star-Lord combination, and they're just going to get rid of it.
Yeah, especially on Domination too. It's just simply too easy to get value out of the Galactic Legend. Really, it's going to be the Invisible Boundary that could be one of the biggest stall factors outside of, say, like Eternal Bond. But in Domination, you don't really see Cloak and Dagger as much anymore. It's mostly just more mobile. Well, I suppose Invisible Woman's less mobile, but more ultimates that you can actually hide away from. So, probably not going to be seeing Cloak and Dagger at all. The Captain America ban's very interesting, but historically speaking, we have seen a lot of big dive value coming out of Cadia specifically. Him and Fun are a dynamic, aggressive Vanguard duo, but because of the recent buffs Captain America got, it makes a lot of sense to target ban him.
Yeah, I mean, with the Jeff also coming through, it being untouched throughout the entirety of this ban draft means that Symbiote shenanigans will be available for the side of Pirates. But without the Deadpool team up for Pirates means that, I mean, they can still run the Jeff, don't get me wrong, but we'll see if they're going to be using that Symbiote shenanigans to their favor. Aztec has the Jeff available, also has a good Loki as well, so that's also available to him at his disposal.
That's true.
So we're going to see what the option comes in here, because Pirates, they know that they're dealing with a one-sided gambit. Do they have the tools in order to counteract? Because so far we've seen that pattern already. If a team gets a one-sided gambit, they have won the map. So
hey, look,
do
this
Pirates
is the
have something up
perfect
their
time. This is the perfect time to go for our mini podcast because we did have a player disconnect. We have a team pause right now from one of our teams. Coach Dan, how do you beat a one-sided gambit?
It's just so hard, right? You
It
gotta
is.
go for the aggressive move. You have to. The best way to counteract it is to make the first move quickly and efficiently. Make sure to target down the Gambit when you know that the Gambit will be close to that ultimate. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more easier to deal with the Gambit because of the Season 7 ultimate charge nerfs kicking in by 20%. It's going to be a little bit easier. There's a lot more counterplay to shut down the Gambit. Not only just taking him down before the ultimate even goes off, but maybe even while the ultimate is active. Because if you take down the Gambit, that means the Raging Royal Flush will be cut short.
Okay, okay. I like the idea of that. But when you have a team like, we can see the highlights of some of the players right now. Fun on the Venom, Kadia on the Angela, Return possibly rocking a Daredevil coming into this is very overly aggressive. I guess Venom's not melee, but like melee centered type beat aggressive push. Could that be a good way to overwhelm the Gambit?
Yeah, that would probably be the
Adjacent,
best
that's the
option. Yeah, true. Yes. Yeah, just literally just overwhelming the Gambit, right? He has a lot of different ways to get out of danger, especially with the Cajun Charge combined with the Bayou Bash. So he could just dash around as much as he likes, but if you're able to catch him out without that mobility spell, means that he's just going to get taken down. So that's going to be what the plan is, I believe, on the side of Pirates, because they're going to miss out on the Gambit. And if they're able to shut down Exile, who is looking to pilot the Gambit, that's going to be huge for Pirates. And so far, they're looking to experiment with different options here. We're not going to know just yet until the gates open up, but for now, soon enough, we start off here in round number 1 on Warrior Falls. So lots of environmental KO options. Both teams already looking to utilize the Jeff pick as well as Angela, but only for Rival so far. Actually, no, Pirates are going to get both also into it.
Okay. Symbiote shenanigans, though, on Pirate's side could work out well. Aztec, historically, a low-key player, does have extra mobility this time onto the Jeff. Would be good for that environmental off of the if it's Jeff KO ultimate factor. Just a matter of seeing if it's going to work out well. Lumi is going to be rocking the Angela this time, trying to find an equal match to the very dive-centric plays that we could see coming out from Rival's side. But remember, they do have the Gambit.
Do have the Gambit, and it's already climbing up fast. 6 is utilized the Van Pool, and he's going to get access to the Banhammer or the Big Test. It's going to be a matter of which one he decides to use here. Does he want to cut off a strategist off the rip, or does he go for the backline disruption? Return is able to draw first blood onto his doppelganger of Zeft. Exile goes down. Pirates just take over this first fight.
Return did win that opening fight against his doppelganger. That's going to be Zell gone, and he is just popping off, finding so much more. Another KO goes to the favor of Kadia, though. And Pirates, they get the first cap.
They will get the first cap, and they are also running dive. So as soon as they cap the first point, they just try to go for the close hold and make sure that they take all the space that they can get and look at the positioning coming from Pirates. They are just all over the map. Kaidi up in the high ground, everyone else in the low ground as well, and Rival need to navigate their way in. Thankfully, Zeft is there with the Daredevil, so he's able to know the positions of Pirates at all times, but the problem is Pirates also have the same exact resource.
Yeah, double Daredevil coming through. Katie is there for info gathering. Wonderful work off of Vital and Hoodie to remove some of the most powerful people off of Rival's side. That's going to be, though, a complete return of 4. Return with a double KO. Make that a 3rd with the hands of Fun. Beautiful work, a shutdown immediately. And historically speaking, when we watched Pirates play Domination, they always lost that initial fight and then had the return factor to recap a domination point and never let go. But this time, there hasn't even been that. They've been holding on the whole time.
Yeah, Rival really wanted to utilize the Rogue Gambit team up, but they really couldn't do it. So Proxy's going from the Rogue over to the Jeff to try to get value out of the Symbiote shenanigans. And what in the world was that from Vital? Aztec even getting a double with the Joyful Splash. How in the world did Pirates just wipe out Rival before the fight even began? I just saw the health bar just go straight to 0 there.
Deleted with the help of Vital. A 4K between those two players, shutting down the entirety of Rival Sports. Let's see what No With Exile can do. Raging Royal Flush is finally out and underway, and it desperately needs to be used here. What can you do?
He's
Isolation?
not going to use it. He's not going to use it just
No?
yet. They're just going to wait for Rival to reposition themselves.
That would have been the perfect time to use it.
Yeah, that probably would have been. And now with the dive coordinated perfectly from Fun
There
Fun
it
and
is.
Kaidia, the dynamic duo going right in. The anti-heal gets kicked in thanks to Fun Fun. Overtime comes in, so the movement speed is enough to get Rival onto the site. But Pirates, they're holding onto their ultimates
It's Jeff.
until now.
It's Jeff, baby! Where's it gonna go? Who is he gonna eat? Does he find any value? It's a second Jeff to come by. And that's the entirety of the domination point, but it's too little too late. You take people off, and Pirates are there for a clean, flawless win for game number 1. Or, sorry, Warrior Falls number 1, I should say.
Yeah, it gets difficult for a Rival because they need to have at least one person stepping foot onto the site. So the amount of map control that they have is only constricted to that zone, and Pirates, they know that Rival need to move fast in order to at least stay alive in this round, and Pirates are able to exploit that to perfection. They just corral Rival into that position of they're just gonna get absolutely wiped out from all angles of the map.
We want the same thing.
And with Pirates not utilizing too many of their ultimates, they only use Fun Fun and Aztec in that final fight. And Rival, without that Royal Flush, because they used it to, at the very least, trigger overtime, means that Pirates have all of the advantage. Return with the Devil out could just Wamo combo it perfectly with Kaidia's Heaven's Retribution.
But there's a big problem though, Dan. Just because you have a Gambit doesn't guarantee a win. Even though it has been 100% so far for the teams of the one-sided Gambit to win out these matches, Pirates are entirely focusing all of their efforts to identify and counter 6v1 against Proxy's Gambit. Katie's been spotted out instantaneously. A poke has been made. Info's been gathered out. Returns looking for a way to get in. Let the devil loose, baby! That's gonna be one gone. The Psylocke has been brought out. He continues it forwards. You're stuck inside of a small box. Heaven's Retribution is taking down all the angels, but Return falls in the process.
Return does fall down because of Lumi. Triggers the Heaven's Retribution to just keep Return in a constricted circle, and that will spell his demise. But Pirates, they get what they want. They get the first cap, and now they just look to just slowly but surely move forward on this map and just constrict Rival from making any sort of moves, because Rival, they still want to try to make this dive composition work. And again, because of no space, they can't run dive.
No, and Return is fighting tooth and nail to take down Lumi. Damage has been brought out, but Lumi attempts to survive up until the very end. But Kaidi is there to save the day. Apex Predator brought out momentarily ago. Not sure where it went, but Vital does find impact and take down 6. Echolocation though, information. That is all that Kadia needs to push on forward and see what he can find. Could there be a Raging Royal Flush? 80% Gambit? It needs to be a turnaround.
Yeah, but Pirates don't have any way to counter it, so if a good rushdown is facilitated on side of Rival Esports, they could easily get the retake going, and so far they're looking to position in just that way. Proxy's now going to trigger the Royal Flush. Here comes the rushdown. Pirates are not able to get their ultimates down in time. Aztag is the only resource that they can really work with, and it's going to be a big question mark of where this Jeff is going to go. It's going to swallow up 2. It is going to swallow up HK Mario, but it's not going to find at the value that it wants to. Raging Royal Flush is one-sided, but Hoodie! Wait, Hoodie! Oh my god, what in the world? Hoodie with the triple! Hoodie is just going to go absolutely ballistic! He gets taken down, but the side is still in Pirates' grasp.
Hoodie's doing amazing, and so is all of Pirates, but then guess what? Oh, Kadia with a double! Incredible work! Rivals haven't even touched onto the domination point, and whenever they do, it's an instantaneous KO up against them. They're fighting back into spawn. 95%, a desperation portal out from Zeph. Can it be enough? Surely now it's been red. Not enough time. Portal was too late, and Pirates get the clean 2-0.
No, Exile! They
Tell
thought
me
they
about it,
had
Dan. What's going on?
They thought they had the time to jump through the portal and keep the fight going. Exile tried to desperately use the invisible boundary, but then again, it was the second round. At that point, you just tried to go for the desperation play, but unfortunately, not enough time was in the bank for Rival to get that fight extended. I really thought off of what was it? I think it was one of the strategists on Rival just going for that one-sided Royal Flush. I thought that was enough to get the retake down, but Hoodie out of freaking nowhere gets a
Hoodie.
triple, and is able to stall enough time for Kaya to get the double dunk.
Hoodie played so amazingly there. I was so impressed by seeing the full extension of the White Fox kit. Newest allowed hero inside the game to be played in MRI. Wonderful work to see. And this also breaks the streak, Dan. We are seeing a matchup now where there's a one-sided gambit that's allowed for a team. Did not work out for them.
Yeah, and I think that big question mark in terms of how rivals are going to facilitate their composition has so far looked a little bit concerning. You got the one-sided gambit, but Pirates were just able to handle it and contain this one-sided gambit to perfection. Every time rival tried to go for a play, Pirates had a reaction of their own, and they just went for the counterplay, and it worked out perfectly for them, especially when Hoodie was able to just go in with the melee form, is able to get so much damage down onto Rival as soon as the Raging Royal Flush ended, because keep in mind, Royal Flush is still a strong ultimate.
It's true.
But with 2 seconds shaven off, that was the difference there.
I gotta put a lot of the emphasis on that win condition on Pirate's side to Katie and return. The fact that we would see the Echo location come out from the Daredevil, help go in with a large amount of HP, and just the crosshair division from the fact that Angela can just shut down everything by flying, really goes to show that I think we're out of breath, man. We may have to go to a small break and get things set up for game 2. So we'll Our MRC champions had a crushing victory in the first game so far against one of the invited teams for the preseason of Pacific for Marvel Rivals Ignite. Can this team finally bring it back, and can we see a game 3? Dan, what's going on?
I mean, it looks a little bit concerning for Rival as a team right now. You got a lobby on 6 to try to carry the team through those fights, but even with the one-sided gambit, they just could not cross the line, and Pirates were just ahead in every step of the way. especially facilitating the dive composition, because they won that first fight, and as soon as they won that first fight, they just go for the full core press, go for all the map space that they can get, and just limit Rival from making any room to go for any sort of plays. And now Rival, it's their turn to pick the map for themselves. Do they go for Convoy? Do they go for Convergence? It's gonna be tough to decide. If they want to go for a more bunker style defense, maybe they go for Convergence, unless they want to go all in on this dive composition, which in that case they would go for something like Convoy.
Yeah, I think Convoy would be a solid solution here. I wouldn't want to play anything domination-centric if I'm Rivals right now. I think just the Angela Daredevil combination was simply too strong for discoverability to make things work for Rivals before they can get their proper footing into a team fight. If I'm Rivals, I might be looking to ban out either one of those two heroes coming into this instead of a Gambit.
Yeah, I would argue the same, right? The ban draft is really where everything comes down to. If you don't do so hot on the ban draft, it's a lot more punishing when you compare it to the MRC style bans. So we'll see how Rival decide to approach this. They did get the one-sided Gambit. Maybe they decide to alter, maybe stray away from the Gambit. But then again, Gambit going through is just so influential throughout the rest of the ban draft, because if the Gambit goes through, you allow Loki stocks to go through the roof, you allow Star Wars stocks to go through the roof, and then if you're investing bans in those characters, other characters then start rising up in stock. Yep, it's just that butterfly effect of this ban draft, and that is just the joy of the ban draft system here in Marvel Rivals.
And hey, look, it's only going to get wilder and wilder as we keep adding more heroes to the game. It only gets more and more complex, man. But, you know, there's big meta-defining heroes, and there are some that aren't. But the fact that Gambit, Loki are super strong, Elsa too to an extent, despite the minor nerfs, really goes to show that a map like Central Park could be a make-or-break moment for Rivals and how they fare.
I mean, we've seen the different compositions that could work on Central Park. Not only is it good to bunker down in a small room, it's also very good for dive. It is also very good for flyers as well, so that could be a curveball option Rivals could go for. We saw it work out back in the EMEA region. Shout out to Shikigami versus Navi there, when Shikigami just ran towards Ultron. It felt like we were getting portaled back into Season 3. Do Rivals decide to go for the same thing? It seems It seems unlikely, I feel like, but that is an option available to them.
There's no way, man. I'm using reverse psychology to bring it into this world. There's no way we're gonna see the Torch
I agree.
out.
There is no shot. There's just no shot Rival decide to go for something that goes so deep into their playbook. But it could work. It could be an option. It did catch Navi off guard when Shiki ran it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it might be one of those things where you can only run it one time before it's instantly counterbanned. And to say that Navi had to fall victim to it, sorry, that stinks. I'm wondering if every other team inside the Pro League circuit's like, oh, we gotta watch out for that now.
Yeah,
I don't want to be like Navi. I don't want to fall for that.
I mean, it's gonna be at the back of your minds, right? It's not gonna be enough. I don't think it's gonna be enough to draw out any bans or protects or anything like that. But if I see a protect, it could. I mean, at the very least, it could be a protect onto the Ultron. That could be an option here.
Maybe.
We've seen teams do that over in the Americas region, where they use their second save on the Ultron to maybe put pressure on the Mantis and the Ultron backline, which has been rising in popularity, especially because of the way you can stack damage amplification. Mantis with the 12% damage boost, Ultron with the drone can provide a 10% damage boost. So if you combine that with other damage amplifications, you get a faster ult charge, you get more damage output, and if all of those resources are pumped, say, in Elsa Bloodstone, you get some really scary results.
It gets scary. We're just about ready for game number 2, and circle back around to the bans real quick. I think I don't have any statistics on it in front of me, but I think so far from what we've seen today, Dan, besides your usual suspects of the Loki being banned out and same with Gambit, I think Mantis has been the third most banned strategist that we've seen thus far. So if we do see the save on the Ultron, at least then it's not as bad to see the Mantis either I suppose, just get banned out. I think having, Mantis go through after reserving Ultron would be, a KO sentence for the enemy team.
Yeah, Mantis really just throws out its own branch throughout the ban draft, right? If you let the Mantis through, that allows the Groot and the Loki team up to go through as well. It's essentially a really, really strong side quest. You're going for a really strong buff, really strong ability in the game, and that's exactly what some of these teams know, and they know how strong that team up is, mainly because not only does Groot get the power to heal his own teammates, but Loki gets a damage boost in Regen Domain. Yeah, this is also a very, very great group map, but like you just said.
So can we see a group ban maybe?
It could be possible. Some teams have been using that as their final ban, but so far, Rival and Pirates will trade Gambit for Elsa, and Pirates go for the instant save on the Mantis. No other team in EMEA or Americas has done that.
Okay, so this has to telegraph a group Mantis style type B attack, right?
It would be, and so far it's drawing out the Loki ban because of the team up, because you don't want to give away a damage amplified Regen Domain. Regen Domain's already a busted ability in its own right, but Rival get the Mantis as well.
I'm looking at the hovers right now from Pirate side. They have the Mantis reserved. We can assume Mantis obviously will be played. Groot on top. Ultron Storm too.
It's gonna be a tough one here, but
it's like instant KO everywhere.
Okay. So the Gambit is not saved, so Pirates will gladly take that off the table. So finally, both teams will not be running the Gambit, but Rival will get the save onto the Vanguard Deadpool. Pirates do have a chance to save it for themselves as well. And so far, they're thinking about their next ban here. It could really be the Groot. I wouldn't be against a group ban here.
Yeah, I think a group ban would be a really awesome choice.
Oh, that might be the first White Fox ban inside of All of Ignite.
I think it is.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, after the heroics that Hoodie was able to achieve, they don't want the same thing that happened to them.
One-sided? No. Adam save wouldn't be a bad idea here. Do they go for the White Fox or the Adam Warlock? Both are really great options for Hoodie here.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with either choice. Hoodie going for the White Fox after what happened game one. I feel like it's a slam dunk.
This is the first one-sided White Fox via ban draft here. That is insane adaptations coming in from the Asia region. We've watched Americas, we've watched EMEA duke it out for 3 days last week, and the Pacific region already throwing in their own variations of this Season 7 meta.
Wait, a Psylocke ban?
Interesting. Okay.
Huh?
That's got a target up, maybe a possible dive composition coming in on the side of
I suppose, but like at that point you're banning a symptom, not the actual disease.
Oh my gosh, there's no way. Oh my gosh, is this real?
No.
Hold on. I know the audience isn't seeing this just yet. I'm just gonna hint at I think Na'Vi versus Shikigami might have reached the Asia region. I think a lot of people saw the VOD of that match in particular, and we're seeing some inspirations here.
Oh no, Pirates swapped off. Vital's gonna go for the early Spider-Man. Maybe we can see a swap back.
Rival are still cooking with it.
Oh no,
they're the ones that rolled out first, and there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Season 3 with 6 on the Ultron and Zeph on the Torch.
Alright, let's see how this goes out. Vital's gonna rock the Star-Lord instead. Early pokes, double hit scan to work with against the double flyers, I should say. It's just a matter of hiding and playing around this terrain and the environment. Works well defensively.
Now here's the problem with Torch Ultron running in Season 7. The issue being that Kaidia on the Angela could really just shut down both the Torch and the Ultron, because with limited mobility and limited resources, everyone on Rival just cannot handle the aggression coming in from Pirates. Kaidia on the Angela is just proving to be too much to handle for Rival. Rival, I would assume they would go for one of the, like an Angela to at least mark Kaidia in where he is, but Rival are doing just that.
Portal onto an almost instant KO from Kaidia. Again, the big problem with game number 1 was the fact that we had
that's
seen
the issue.
how strong this Angela is.
Yeah, that's the issue. No one on Rival is playing the Angela, and with the Adam Warlock using the Cocoon to try to get some extra ult charge just means that he's just gonna get blown up. Hoodie is just showing why Pirates use so much resources, so much of that ban draft to make sure that Hoodie gets this White Fox one-sided, and they just get the first point blisteringly fast.
We're seeing melee White Fox play so similar to that Black Panther on a Rocco earlier today. Close, condensed area. You have the help of a Vanguard, say at this point, Kaidia. Just absolutely massacre. Galactic Legends down.
No.
Dissension down. The Flyers are gone yet again. Wow. Everybody's been shut down at once. This counterplay is not working from Rivals.
No, and Lumi even switches over to the Angela. He knows that he needs to make sure that Kaidia isn't just harassing Six and Zeft, who are just defenseless because of this Angela. And now with Rival, they try to get X-Files invisible boundary up in time, but Vital just comes in at the perfect moment, perfect place, perfect time, and now Fun and the rest of the Pirates just blunder down Rival again.
Plenty of gold to find in these chests around. It's gonna be Hoodie for the double KO yet again, maybe near a triple. Up and above into the attic. That's the entirety of Rivals gone.
All right. I know EMEA and Americas have yet to play on this hotfix patch, but Hoodie is so far the best White Fox I've ever seen.
Yep.
Hands down. Actually, maybe shout out to Swamp Gaming with Valentina Eve, she's also cooking on the White Fox, but so far Hoodie is really making a case for himself. 3 ults to work with now for Pirate's side, soon for the Soul Resurgence as well. Return, looking to just ult dump and farm away everywhere. Heaven's Retribution is out, ult dump underway, the Rage of Ultron directly on top. Invisible boundaries out though. Rage of Ultron from both sides will try to help out, but it is a battle between robots, and there's no definitive winner, but so far a critical choke for these defenders is being lost. They cannot lose the top of these stairs. Proxies gets taken down. Great assassin charge from Kaidia to shut down the Soul Resurgence. Lumi goes in with the Heaven's Retribution to try to get some sort of value, but Return is there with the one-sided Mantis ultimate, and Aztec is going to get shot down. Hoodie is also available with the Kumio Unleashed to try to provide extra CC immunity for the rest of the team, and Pirates just literally just stomp on through.
There's no stopping them. It's too late. 4 minutes on the clock and so little distance to be made from Pirates. They are, again, pressing into the spawn of these defenders. No chance to escape. Six and Zep have not swapped off the double flyers when it is not working. I'm very concerned.
Yeah, this is really concerning. Six gets defenseless. Great shield coming in from Hoodie to make sure that the Galactic Legend is able to tear down Rival, and Pirates just speed run through Central Park. Full push with almost 4 minutes left.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
At this point, man, like, what do you do? Like, Rivals have to completely switch up the game plan. I really hope they don't bring out the Ultron Human Torch, man.
You know, I was concerned about Rival, but
Speak your truth, Dan. Speak your truth.
This is getting really concerning. I know I was concerned before coming into Ignite Preseason, but now after watching this map number 2, it's looking really rough for Rival at the current moment. Pirates just showing why they were just at a league of their own back in MRC Season 6. And with Rival struggling to find a way to just hold off the aggression of Pirates, what do Rival Esports decide to go for? What kind of options do they do? Because right now, Pirates, they're setting up for a win condition in the likes of Hoodie on this Adam Warlock.
We also see 6 on the Psylocke here, and I can understand for the double flyers why you would bring it out. The Dance of the Butterflies can auto-connect onto the flyers. Could be a strong start, but the raw damage output necessary for what I assume will be Pirates sticking together and going for a gigantic aggro push, I don't know if Psylocke's the right move.
It has to be the right move. They're gonna need to full push themselves if they want to stay alive in this map number 2. A tall task against the likes of Pirates, who are looking to be locked in, just putting on an absolute show here in the Ignite preseason stage. And with Rival, they're trying to go for a little bit of a soft dive with HK Mario on the Venom 6, looking to follow up the Venom dive with the Psylocke. Might be the difference, but it's going to be really difficult, especially with Pirates having so many of those defensive resources like the Adam Warlock Soul Bond and Return as well, helping out.
Can't go soft against Pirates. You're just poking up ultimates for them. Aztec 65% and Vital not too far off of getting Galactic Legend. 2 bodies already gone. That makes that 3 now. Resurrect from Zeph will try to help out, but now it's begun. The waterfall of damage. Vital and Kaidia are shutting down everybody on Pirates.
And Rival are looking to utilize the Adam Warlock. I guess, yeah, you got better hit scan options, but I don't think the Adam Warlock is the correct move. You have options like the Hela, you have options like the Phoenix as well to shut down the amount of flying characters on the side of Pirates.
You have,
but
how do you
Rival aren't just going for it.
How do you counter Angela? What is the solution there? Because Rivals need to know. They don't have anything for Kaidia now. Invisible Boundary is out. Aztec on Rage of Ultron will try to help out
Vital
here.
just pops off.
Yeah,
oh, no,
I guess so.
2 go down on the side of Pirates, but Hoodie is there with the Karmic Revival. Vital, if he's able to time his ultimate perfectly, it's going to be devastating. Great stacks coming in from Pirates to deny the value of a knockout blow from 6's ultimate. And then Vital just cleans right up with the Galactic Legend. Nothing Rival can do to stop this unless a Karmic Revival comes in to try to extend this fight for a little bit longer. But Pirates do have the Heaven's Retribution as well as even more resources to shut it down.
I'm looking at the KO feed right now, dude, and it's nothing but orange on blue. Oh my lord. Kaidia has Heaven's Retribution nearly set up and ready. Rivals may try to portal. There's a minute and 30 seconds left. They have to consider it at some point, but I think that's what Kaidia's waiting for. Either that or a massive choke point to go for a team wipe yet again.
And the positioning coming from Pirates is perfect. They're just covering every single angle that Rival wants to go for. They want to go left, you got to deal with a member of Pirates. You got to go right, you have to deal with another member of Pirates. And Rival looking to break through main of all places thanks to proxies with the Soul Resurgence. And everyone on Pirates are just scattering away, making sure they find as much cover as possible.
Can they cover?
But Zeph from a flank gets a double, might even get himself a triple, but it's going to get stealed away by proxies. But I think Pirates have found their footing, but Fun will pop up with the portal, but there isn't much defensive options. The only thing they have is a Soul Bond coming in from Hoodie, but I don't think that's going to be enough to keep this hold going in.
Needs to happen now, but there's no one to defend onto the point. It looks like the payload may be converted. 38 seconds left. If they can't happen now, it might not happen at all. Rage of Ultron is out. Return set up and ready for the Soul Resurgence in just a few moments. But Lumi's there to shut down Aztec.
A
moment to breathe.
Okay, they got it.
They
got it. They finally got it. It got so close. Aztec even investing in the Rage of Ultron. He thought it was winnable, and Kaidia was there to stall for as long as possible. And unfortunately, they were just not able to convert it into a teamfight win, so they're gonna have to concede the first point. But with only 2.5 minutes towards Rival Esports' bank, we're not sure if it's going to be enough. Great Beast of the Abyss coming in to get the elimination onto Return. Aztec tries to peel away the team, but HK Mario should be able to get himself out. 6 comes in with the Dance of the Butterfly, but is not able to cut anyone down. Great use of the Soul Bond coming in from Hoodie to negate so much of that damage.
Loving what we're seeing so far. Hoodie, though, with the Karmic Revival. I'm assuming him and Aztec will swap around as soon as they possibly can. Invisible Boundary directly on top is going to help out well. Vital, Galactic Legend, waiting for X-Leo to end their ultimate. There is Lumi, of course, with the Vampire ultimate that could try to shut it down, but can they get the aim down just in time? Katie is there for Return, and Return is there for Kadia. They're going to help each other out, find so many KOs everywhere at once. And now Zeft, a Karmic Revival's out, but it's up inside a small little building, and it seems like Pirates are set up and ready to take them all down as soon as they spawn back in. Kadia's gone. Everyone pummeling from a distance. A literal siege onto a castle. A minute 30 left.
And Aztec and the rest of Pirates are able to stall on through. They lose out Kadia early, but Kadia's on the Angela, so he's going to be able to come back to the fight very, very quickly. Great charm coming in from Aztec as well. It's going to draw out proxies with this whole Resurgence, but no one on Pirates have any sort of response, so the rushdown should be successful for Rival here.
Soul Resurgence is out. Feed looking in Rival's favor. They got their bearings together. 6 on this Psylocke has helped out tremendously against the flying capabilities of Kadia, and Lumi's there. Hit scan shuts down Kadia again.
All right. Signs of life coming in for Rival now, but ultimates are not online anytime soon. It seems like Aztec comes in with the Kumiho Unleashed and is just able to stomp down the rest of Rival before their ultimates even come down. Heaven will fall, but the Soul Bond is not going to be enough. Everyone on Rival just get aced out. HK Mario, thankfully, is able to find the exit trade onto Return, but it's not going to be enough here. And with 30 seconds left, Pirates just have to hold off one more push from Rival.
Rivals cannot spare anything this time around. They cannot be team wiped again. There's simply no time. X-Leo, Invisible Boundary, can absolutely set this up to create some space, but it's the slice! It's the dice! Fun Fun is gone! Looming Co have an advantage! They have bodies to work with now. 3 ults at their disposal. Feast of the Abyss needs to be from HK Mario, but it's a now or never moment. He gets the feast! He gets the Abyss! Hoodie is gone! And a Karmic Revival will have to wait a few more moments. Hoodie goes for the self from 5. Zeft is there to shut down Vital. Things are going up Rival style. They have 3 meters to go, but they're in overtime. Soul Resurgence. Dance with the butterflies, shutting them away. Katie is there, gone now. Flyers no longer in play. Karmic Revival. Hoodie needs to find more. Vital and Katie are back in play. Kyle Galactic Legend is out now through the castle. Can they shut it down? Someone's gonna touch the payload. Our Rivals are out for the day, and there's no time to spare. That's it for Rivals.
Great use of CC coming in from Pirates, just making sure that everyone is forced away. Vital even investing in the Galactic Legend because he knows that if the Karmic Revival does come down, it has to be in cover, it has to be at an off angle, or else there's just going to be no value on the Resurrection. And with no one home on the site in the side of Rivals, just means that Pirates just are able to take over Central Park and get an easy 2-0 victory.
Well, Pirates are ever closer to finding their treasure, and let me tell you, they've plundered so much today. Wonderful work coming out from them. Genuinely speaking, don't know what to expect from here. We call it the Liger effect. Any team that can beat Pirates are absolutely ready for Ignite, and Pirates so far, if they can be like this against the invited teams, who's to say there's anybody in this region that can stop them?
And I do need to give some flowers to Rival for being able to target down the win condition on the side of Pirates, because towards the tail end of that final fight, it was just making sure that Hoodie isn't able to get a good Karmic Revival off. Rival knew that Hoodie was going to be the problem. Pirates knew the same thing in the likes of Zeft, and they were able to target him down accordingly, able to trigger out the cocoon, but Rival just could not shut it down in time, and Pirates, utilizing the terrain, utilizing the strengths of their ultimates, know that if Vital is able to get that Galactic Legend off, everyone needs to scatter away.
Absolutely. You have to scatter. There's so many individual players you need to worry about when you're facing against Pirates. It feels like MRC Season 6 all over again. AAAD have just strengthened and reinforced themselves, and so have Pirates. Same strategies, just even better this time around.
Yeah, and so far, this is a great look for Pirates. We know that they were going to do really, really well in the Ignite stage, but so far they are looking so damn good, especially from the likes of Rival, who is one of the guest teams coming in to the Ignite Pacific Asia stage. And so far, This is so far a difficult look for Rival, but again, this is preseason. There's still a lot of time. This is only the beginning, like you said. So they still have a lot of time to get a feel of what the roster wants to do as a whole, what kind of compositions they want to go for. But for Pirates, this is a huge morale boost, knowing that they can go up against some of Asia's best.
I mean, it's not like they were squandering for morale to begin with. They were the champions. They lost a single game in playoffs in MRC Season 6. They looked great even then. I can only imagine they can keep that streak on going. But if you are a fan of Rivals, there's plenty of footage now for them to watch up against a team like AAAD, like the other MRC teams like Pirates, to see exactly how they click. And maybe now, the next time we see them, they could have counterplays set up.
And we're going to have to see as we get deeper and deeper into this preseason meta that we're seeing over in the Pacific region. This has been so different, right? And we saw what EMEA, we saw what Americans have been doing. I'm just going to keep comparing every single region because every region has its own identity in terms of how they approach the band draft, in terms of how they approach these team compositions. Maybe the White Fox buff hotfix definitely plays a role in terms of how Pirates and the rest of the Pacific Asia really want to utilize these compositions, but with Pirates going aggressively to make sure that they get the one-sided White Fox really shows the strength of this character so far.
I mean, hey, look, if each team wants to look ahead and play the Ultron Human Torch combo in Central Park, who's to say we won't see more White Fox bans going forward? And that might put a stifling matter inside the Loki bans, maybe even the Gambit bans, could re-allow those guys back in the meta, while White Fox is showing how strong she can really be on the attacking front.
Yep, and we saw just that, and now with a comfortable 2-0 lead for Pirates, they're going to put themselves with a win on the board. We're going to go to a short break because we got to set up for the final best of 3 of the night. Maybe.
Oh, maybe. Oh, never mind then.
Never mind. We got a false alarm. It's all good.
Okay.
It's all
we
good.
Froze like statues.
Yeah,
it's actually... You know, the secret to production is that we are just a PNG for a second. That's how we're able to stay perfectly still.
Yeah, exactly.
We got to hit our best pose possible before we go to that break. Ready?
Yeah, we're just gonna...
We got to steal.
We gotta cook up a pose, but for now, we could maybe preface a little bit, right? For the next
where's the
match
fun in
as
that?
well. Yeah, that's true, but like, it's going to be zero tenacity versus loyalty, right?
Yeah,
This is a really interesting match that I am looking forward to. I won't lie, because Zero Tenacity are changing up their roster a little bit. They're bringing in some American talent here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. I think the roster's been somewhat of a mystery for a lot of people coming into this, and you know, that can be a great thing to, you know, deny counterplay potential. Could be a scary thing for your team too, depending on how long they've been playing together. But now we are ready to set things up. Don't go anywhere. Final games of the night will be coming up in just a few moments.